This was filmed in front of a live studio audience at twitch.tv/thunderpants.
And Tyson, take one, marker.
There's a line that emerged in Destiny 1 that wasn't planned for, but is very deliberate by the person who put it in the game, and is very resonant for Destiny players, and resonant for me as a person. And that line is, Guardians make their own fate.
Yeah.
That still gives me goosebumps. For me, that has sort of become a touch point for the Destiny story. Again and again,
Oh, Vault of Laugh.
external forces come and try to impose a fate upon you.
Dominus
and
Call.
They can't do that.
I forgot that ship existed.
We make our own fate. That's not just a powerful theme of Destiny, it's also a powerful theme for us.
Fun fact, I mentioned the trailer on that Guardian right there. That one is me. Oh, really?
Humanity. We make our own fate.
Confronting Oblivion.
When you're
Vault
talking
of...
about 10 years of
Whoa!
story, there's a lot of stuff crammed in there, and there's a lot.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
It's knowing which ones are the important ones. We want to tell a story that makes you, the player, feel like all of that time that you invested, we saw you, and we
Guardians
want
make
to
their own
give you
fate?
the experience
Look at the bosses
that
we
you've
fight.
been waiting for.
Look
True.
at everything we had. We laid it all
Every
out,
script.
like whiteboards and like everything.
We were trying to look for
I
a
wrote
theme
those
that
sticky
felt
notes, chat room.
resonant, not just for this story, but for Destiny as a whole. And the theme that we kept coming back to was purpose and fate. And that's what this story is about, not just for ourselves as the player, but also for our characters.
I used to think
Our pants got me.
I'd give anything to bring you back.
I cried quite a few
Oh, is
times.
that's fucking... Oh, what's his name? That's Zavala. He sounds good. He sounds really good.
What would I want to hear?
You get to see their emotional journey, the struggle of
Oh,
how do we
shit.
defeat the witness.
I know it's not... I know. Rest in peace, Lance Reddick, man.
Let's bring an end
That's Keith David.
to your futile exertions.
The witness sees itself as the one true
Start running
God.
up there.
So it's come to the traveler because it needs the power of
Oh,
the
God. Oh,
traveler's
no.
light to finish this vision.
Ooh.
Its goal is salvation. Why don't you want that?
Be reborn.
You know what? Why don't we want
Our mission
that?
is to make sure that we can prevent it from getting the light, the thing that it needs, in order to make it all happen.
Oh,
We finally
shit.
confronted the traveler, and here we are, thorns in its side, a blip on its radar, trying to make a difference.
You're gonna speak to the witness, and the witness is gonna shine a light on some things.
You think the witness
And
fired all
you
those people?
Wonder, like, what
Sorry.
would it be like? What would it be like to be a disciple of the witness?
Your guardian's use has yet to be determined.
Oh, shit.
We're in need of a god killer.
Ooh.
Every time you hear the witness, you're not just hearing one voice.
I'm
You're
a
hearing
god
whispers in
killer.
the background. You're hearing all of these other textures.
You're still resisting.
You can feel a subtext sometimes where the real witness comes through, or at least things that it doesn't want you to know about it come through.
There is only suffering!
Putting characters into pressure cookers is what storytellers do best. And I can't imagine a more intense pressure cooker than it's the end of the world. If we fail, everything
Happy.
is frozen forever,
Oh.
and only we can do it. It's just the handful of us inside of a god.
There were a couple of themes that we had when we started on the Pale Heart. The two main ones that I remember were surreal and shattered to spire.
Seeing how they put a tiny little guardian at the beginning of this vast journey that's spreading out in front of you really put into perspective the scale that we needed to hit in order to make the Pale Heart look and feel dangerous and ambitious and vast.
When we were thinking of surreal things, it was a bit of a challenge because how do you make something surreal?
Go ahead,
For
man.
me is putting familiar
Ooh, oh, that's
things
pretty.
out of context. What is the
on
thing
your
when you
desktop
turn the
background.
corner that you are not expecting? So that's when we play with scale, we play with unexpected things, repetition,
there's this awesome piece of concept art that is like this massive ghost in the horizon, and you just like go over there and it's just like broken down in the middle, and it's just weird in a way that is unsettling but at the same time feels very visceral.
Another one that we used was body parts, and it sounds a bit strange because we didn't want to do body horror. So I was taking screenshots from the game and just trying to find silhouettes and things that would look surreal. And I started replacing all the trees with hands. So all the limbs was made out of fingers coming out and eyes were on the floor. And I do remember our direction was like that, like more hands.
Body horror, but not
Are there
right.
hands holding up the freeway in which we were born? Yes. You'll recognize it instantly, and then almost as quickly, you'll realize you've never been here before.
I definitely feel like there's some aspects of the Pale Heart where like, this is freaking weird and scary. I want to take that risk. I want to push a little bit of what expectations of
with its fucking body horror,
can be,
right?
And I hope that players love that.
As players progress,
They didn't want to say they're doing
they get
body
to
horror.
See more influence of the Witness, not just on the Traveler, but also on the races that it's interacted with that we've seen so far.
So while it's inside the Pale Heart, it's able to access the light as it's trying to siphon it. It is using
What the why?
To siphon it. It is using that light to create and alter new and different combatants. And so we've encountered some of these members before. Now we have a name for them.
The new Dread units. They're using a new language.
Oh, I like it. I just, they really should just, if they're going to do it, just say what it is.
Tool to generate different phrases and figure out like grammar structures and other things. The pyramid language that the new Dread units speak is actually translatable. So players, if they're really interested in figuring out what the pyramid
you're a
units
big
are saying,
nerd,
could
figure it
decipher
out.
these. Kos yen itget. Baktoku vakad.
Oh shit.
The Husks are an interesting addition to Destiny.
Oh,
because
shit.
we've never fought anything like them before.
We talked about, oh yeah, they need some big weapons. Like, it needs to look like this thing is serious business. They wanted a bit of a secondary.
Motherfucker's gonna call me words in Dread. I can't.
2-in-1. As the sketches were progressing, we were kind of like, oh, this feels like it's sentient. And we just love the idea.
We had all these different sound effects in our library of water bladders that make some really cool sounds when you're shaken. We used some sounds of slapping jello too.
Okay,
So
all right,
kind of the
squelchies.
foundation for the Husk. We have all these real physical
It's special
sounds.
effects
that
we're gonna
come
get. Let's
together
go.
and it feels like an alien moving around in the stomach of this thing. The collaboration between the different disciplines and the trust we have for each other. At the end, it comes out better than anybody could have made individually.
Oh God, my ears right. Oh fuck the city. Hey man.
There's a moment where you realize, looking at the final shape, that it's not just a story about the Guardian's journey. It's also kind of the story of Destiny's journey.
Period. Insults
It starts in a
right.
place of uncertainty and challenge, and then it changes and evolves, and it proceeds forward into the unknown. And as you get closer to the final shape, those two experiences converge. We know where we're going. We know where we're aiming for.
I feel very confident about the love and the work and the thoughtfulness that everyone working on this release put into it. And I think it's inevitable that when people start going in and experiencing all these different things that make up this expansion, I think they're gonna see it.
I won't lose another soldier in this war.
Oh. Also, opening cutscene dungeon, smile, but yeah.